Hey, once again, it's Billy Peterson, Sean Peterson. We're here with Harnessing Your Wealth. This will be a fun show today. We've got Special Agent Bret Curtis, and he's a FBI agent, Salt Lake City office, and he is part of the crime or fraud department. And we're here to talk with Bret today about what's going on in the world of fraud as it's growing by leaps and bounds. And Sean and I are dealing with this on a regular basis here, helping people who call us who have been suckered into some sort of a scam.
Yes.
And it's getting scary.
And they swear it's not a scam.
Yeah, right.
It's not fraud. They're sure of it, 100%.
Met somebody online.
Yeah.
You know, new romance brewing.
Investment schemes. It's all out there.
There's so many things that are becoming important to discuss. So for you listening today, please pay attention. Share this with other friends or family members. I can't tell you how many times people like my dad get suckered into something on a text message or an email, and they believe that they have to do something. It's an urgent request. They have to act. It's even from the IRS. Oh my God, the IRS is after me. I better click this button. So let's talk about it. Let's find out what the scams are, and let's find out how to protect yourself today. So welcome, Bret. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we are welcome. Let's talk about the latest and greatest. I mean, I'm sure your job is evolving. You've been doing this for a while, and you're seeing the scams become more and more sophisticated. What's going on? What's the latest stuff?
They have some good scams out there. Right now, I think the biggest one that we're running into is their crypto investment scams. And what will happen is a victim will meet someone online. A lot of times they're investment chats that are already established, and they'll get into the chats. They'll say, hey, I've got a friend or a family member who's made a lot of money investing in crypto. They've got some new techniques that they're using. And if you're interested, I'll get you into the bottom line and you can make a lot of money. And so they introduce them to a specific investment platform, and they look real. They look really, really good. They establish accounts, usernames and passwords. They log into these accounts. They can download them at different app stores, and so everything looks legitimate. They get into the apps, and it will show trades. It will show everything that you would see in a real platform. And then the bad guys will invite them to invest a little bit, and so they'll invest a couple $1,000s, and their profits will soar. And what is really enticing is at the beginning, they'll allow them to withdraw money. But I mean, one of the big red flags is, I mean, if you're withdrawing money normally, that money is going to come from a bank account or come from a crypto account that would be associated to the business that you're investing in. But they'll get wire transfers from other victims who have money. And so, I mean, those are big red flags up front. But when you're investing and you're new to crypto, you don't notice that.
You don't understand. You just think this is part of the deal.
Right.
As long as I'm making money, I'm getting it back.
Yeah, they don't know what a custodian is. Like when you reference like a bank or a financial institution, it's your profits don't come from Venmo or wire payments.
Right.
Crazy.
But you see the money, and you look at your platform, and you're making profits. And so you've tested it, and you've gotten a withdrawal, and so you start to invest your more money.
Larger, serious money.
Right. So you put in $10, $20, $30, $100,000, and you see your investments are just skyrocketing. You're up to over $1 million, and you've only invested $100,000 or $200,000. So you invite friends to also invest, and then the bad guys a lot of times will say, hey, if we get you to a higher tier, if we get you just a little bit higher, then you're going to be able to get into more lucrative trades. And so they will sometimes offer a loan, and they'll say, hey, we'll give you $100,000, and that will get you right over that tier. And so you get over that tier, you make your trades, and you're making more and more money. And then finally you say, hey, I've made a lot of money. I'm going to enjoy some of this, so I'm going to withdraw it. But then they say, oh, before you have to pay back that loan that you did. And so they'll pay back the loan. There's another $100,000. And then they say, well, there's also taxes and fees, and you have to pay all that. And it just never ends. But because there's always that carrot out there, that multi-million dollars is going to take care of you for the rest of your life. A lot of the victims will just throw more and more and more money at it, hoping that eventually they'll be able to pull all that money out.
It's a form of addicted gambling.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, it's like going to the casino, but you think that you've got a line on it, and you start to see, like you said, it looks legitimate. There's an account. They're showing you your numbers, your values are going up, up, up. It's just like, when does the alarm bell ever go off? And that's what's so scary is people. This is such a new paradigm for people. They think that they figured it out, and then their whole retirement is now going to be magnified, and they've just hit it.
Yeah.
And we have clients, and we've dealt with this on a personal basis that have lost their entire retirement.
Absolutely.
Like, we're talking nearly $1 million investing in stuff like this.
Sounded just like you described.
Yeah.
But it was a gold investment.
Oh, okay.
And somehow they had the market on futures tradings with precious metals, and they're saying it's going up. I'm like, this is not typical. There's something wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
And they did not want to hear it.
And what's interesting, I think, on this is we're seeing in the past with the romance scams, a lot of those are focused on elderly people and lonely people. These are some savvy investors that are falling for it.
True.
Some people that have made some good money, had made good investments. They know what they're doing, but because crypto is new, because a lot of people aren't super familiar with it, they don't know that it's weird. They don't know that it's wrong. And so they start investing and they just don't know better until it's too late.
What is it always too late? Can people get their money back? Do you have any success stories?
So we have an initiative. For this initiative to work, we need to act fast. And so in the last couple of years, we've been able to retrieve over $20 million.
Oh, wow.
And get it back to victims.
Here in the state or nationally?
Here in Salt Lake.
Wow.
We've been able to do that, which tells you how much
we're
is
out
missing
there.
if we've been able to get 20 million. But a lot of that is because it's put into crypto accounts. If we find out about those crypto accounts right away, we can trace it. A lot of those cryptocurrency companies are outside of the United States, but they want to do business in the United States. And so they will cooperate with us. And so it really is based
hard
on
to track, hard to
I
find.
can imagine.
Well, it's not so much that it's hard to find. It's we need to do it right away.
The people that are behind this, the bad people, like I've heard stories that it's not just like one or two people. It's like companies that are formed, like dialing all day or texting all day. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely.
Really?
I mean, from what I understand, there's been billions of dollars nationwide that have been stolen from people. And so we'll have whole call centers in other countries, in Asia, in India, in Cambodia. I know of some call centers over there where their whole business is to do the fraud.
It's fraud.
Yeah. And it's lucrative. It makes a lot of money.
They're getting to where they can text you now, urgent text messages. I mean, they can impersonate people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you seeing with that? Some of the stories that you're seeing.
Well, a lot of these, with this scam specifically, I mean, this really is one of the best scams I've seen because they'll have a whole tech support team that will be there that through that platform that you've downloaded on your phone and on your computer, you can reach out to people to help get investment advice, help you. And so it feels exactly like you're talking to a person from a real company. And so they'll have a team of people ready to talk to you as if they're from a real company.
What about the AI thing? Now that's getting even to another level because now they can make someone's voice just appear as if grandma's calling, and this even happened to my dad. And it was this called a grandparent scam or something, where they say that the grandchild is in trouble, he's in jail, an attorney's on the line. This happened to my dad. And it's had a little boy like crying or kind of pleading, please just don't tell my dad, send money in. They just need your credit card, and then they'll let me out. I got caught, and I had drugs in my possession. He's thinking this is real.
Right.
And my dad has no idea that this is not him. And I think that's getting more and more sophisticated.
Those are some mean scams. I remember a lady who came to us. Actually, she went to the local police and said, "Hey, my daughter's been kidnapped, and if I get off the phone, they'll kill her, and so I have to stay on the phone." So the local police called me and was like, "Hey, help us out." And I mean, it took quite a while to get her to finally hang up the phone, to convince her these aren't real. They don't really have your daughter. It's all fake. But it's that high pressure threat that you're like, well, what if it is real?
Sure.
And I hang up and
it's my fault. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they're mean scams.
They're getting too complicated. I mean, it even happened here in our office when somebody was it an email?
It was an email.
An email, and they sent it to a new hire that we had. She'd only been working here a few months, I think. And they told her, it's impersonating me, saying, "I need you to go buy these gift cards right now. I need these immediately. As soon as you get them, send me the card numbers because they're for a client or something."
Yeah.
She goes and does it. She's like, she doesn't know I wouldn't do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And she's ready to fire him back when somebody, maybe it was you.
I can't remember, but
Happened
someone
to
put the brakes on it. Like,
happened
no,
to see,
Billy
what are
would
you doing?
not
Wait a
do
minute,
that. We know he doesn't give people the company card that often, so careful.
This was several $1,000s that, I just think this can happen so quickly to unsuspecting people. The scams are getting more and more sophisticated. So like you said, these companies are designing newer and better systems to get you to trust them.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about the romance ones for all the folks out there who are lonely and looking for some companionship. What's the latest there?
You know what? That one stays consistent. It's an oldie but a goodie. They know how to do it. What will happen is you'll have a chance encounter, or you'll meet someone through a dating site, and what makes the scam good is that the bad guys are willing to put a lot of time into it. And so they're willing to talk for weeks, sometimes months, for hours and hours every day before they ever even ask for money. And by the time they ask for money, there's an emotional connection. Sometimes it's sad because sometimes a lot of times with these victims, the relationship they're having with this scammer is the closest relationship they have, period, because it's someone that they're talking to every day for hours every day, and they have real feelings for that person. Mm-hmm. And so when they start asking for money and they say, "Hey, I'm stuck in Syria and I can't access my bank accounts," they're more than willing to send whatever money they can to help them get out of a dangerous situation.
I didn't realize they were spending that kind of time, but I'm sure that's important. The payoff can be huge when you think about it. What's the hourly rate on that after you spend a couple months and then you think I got a couple $100,000 out of that deal?
Well, what's interesting is I've investigated these type of scams for a while, and you find out that certain scams are unique to certain countries. And so there's, for example, this romance scam where you'll entice them you'll say that, "Hey, my parents died in another country. They left me an inheritance, but I need to pay the local government taxes and fees before I can get that inheritance. And I just don't have the money. Can you help me pay that?" That is a scam that I found is specific to Ghana. And so you start looking at Ghana and you start looking at the people that are actually talking to the victims, and it's just a lot of street level gang members, people that have next to nothing. And so if they're going to spend hours and hours and days and all they're going to get is a couple $1,000s, that's a huge payday for them. And so that's why they're willing to spend that much time. But then those local people, the low level people that are talking to the victims are also part of a larger criminal organization where they have access to people that have been doing this for years. And these people know that, hey, to get it to the next level, you need to do some fake documents, government documents to show that you're paying taxes, that things are being shipped. And so those people at the higher level are able to impersonate lawyers and create those good fake documents to make people believe it's real. And then at a higher level than that, those people in Ghana have access to people in the United States who have bank accounts, and that's where you can send the money. And so there's this whole giant organization that that facilitates the scam.
It's a web.
It really is. What's the FBI doing about this artificial intelligence world? Is getting so good at impersonating people's voices or even their likeliness in a video.
Yeah.
It looks just like somebody. And how are we going to know what's real anymore? What is your recommendation for people to live in this digital world?
You know what? I don't have great advice because they do look real. I think the best advice I have is if a deal seems weird, then start making phone calls, start looking into it. There are a lot of people that will impersonate the FBI. And here's an awful scam. You get scammed, you lose all your money, the FBI gets involved, we help you get some money back, but the bad guys are just not scared of us. And so they will go in and they will impersonate us and then come in with AI and with fake badges. Yeah, we're here to help. And to really get this to work, you need to send us some money so that we can get your money back. It's silliness, but because people have talked to the FBI and then all of a sudden there's another person talking to them claiming to be with the FBI, they believe it's real.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But the AI makes it tough. You're able to fake voices. There's in fact, I have a friend that manages a call center, and the call centers, for legitimate reasons, are using voice altering software because they have people in India doing call centers, and people are more comfortable talking to someone with a U.S. accent, and so they'll use those. And the bad guys are doing the same thing.
Wow. What should someone do if they get the call or the email or the text and they're just not sure if it's legit? What do I tell a client? Who do they call? What do they do?
So if they're a victim of a fraud, we want them to file a claim with ic3.gov. So it's IC3, it's the letter I, the letter C, the number 3.
Okay, easy.
Gov. Yeah. And there, just file a complaint. We get millions of these. And so what we do with the IC3 complaint is we'll take the complaints and then we start researching for other complaints that match. And then we're able to build a case. And so people may get frustrated because they'll file a complaint and there isn't somebody calling them right away.
Yeah.
But we do use those, and so that we can build bigger cases and go after the bigger organizations. And so the first thing I would say is to file that complaint. If you're talking about what to do for a victim who got a call and they're not sure if it's real, I'm jaded. I've seen so much. And so if it looks at all shady, I just would advise they walk away. With a lot of these older victims, if they're being told, hey, for you to communicate with us, you need to get onto WhatsApp and Snapchat and all these things, I would tell them, business isn't run that way. Just don't do that.
Is the demographic, that 50 plus age, the most vulnerable in your mind, just because they might not be as sophisticated with technology?
Yes, and usually they have more money. And so it's just a good group to go after.
A great demographic. Because we see it quite often. I get tons of messages, and sometimes I'm not sure. And I pretty much am very cynical myself, but you start to wonder, man, I don't want to be in trouble. You get something from a government office or an organization that appears to be, hey, I need to do something. They want me to act on something. Or my bank is saying there's a fraud alert. I need to click this link to notify them. I mean, there's all sorts of things that they get you to feel like there's an immediate need for you to act.
Right.
And that's where I think a lot of people fall short is, who do I ask if this is real or not? Is there any kind of a go-to place to find out?
They can always call their local police. They can always call the FBI and just ask us. You're talking about some scams like government impersonation, and we see a lot of the jury duty scams.
I got that one.
Did you get
I
that
ended
one?
up calling the Salt Lake City Police Department, and they're like, "Yeah, we don't do that." Like I was getting, I
But
had
you
to.
were kind of hooked in,
Oh,
right?
I was hooked for 20 minutes. Billy's son was in the car. He's like, "Hang up on him." I was like, "No, I don't know. I think this might be real." But like the judge had fined me for missing jury duty, and I'm sick about it because I remember the jury duty notice probably
He
in the
doesn't want to
garbage.
get in trouble with anybody.
Yeah, I didn't want to get in trouble. And finally, when I kind of was telling the impersonator, like, "Hey, I'm going to hang up now," he got really pissed off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, "All right, gotcha." But I
Yeah.
still called just to be sure. And they were like, "Yeah, it's out there."
And I think that's the smartest advice you can give. A lot of these scams, if they don't get you right away, they don't get you.
Yeah.
And so if they can't get you with that pressure and you make a phone call, just one quick phone call like you made, the police will tell you, we're
We don't
not,
do that. They don't have enough time to track.
we're not spending out the SWAT team because you missed jury duty.
Oh man, he was so convincing. He like badge number, read it off, and I was like, "What's your badge number again?" Bam, 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 read it off, and just everything had the correct judge. Just wild.
Yeah.
It's an empire. It's becoming almost its own business now. Is crypto making that easy?
It makes it a lot harder for us because the money can move out of the United States so quickly. The problem with crypto, though, is, it's going overseas and it's moving quick. And so we'll see sometimes it's automated, and so that the transfers will go just automatically to 4 or
Seconds.
5 wallets before it even lands in an exchange. And so it does make it tough, but we're able to trace that.
You have jurisdiction if it lands up in, let's say, Australia or whatever. Can you do anything about it?
We don't have jurisdiction, but a lot of the exchanges that want to do business in the United States have an incentive to cooperate with us. And so even though we don't have jurisdiction, we do have a lot of exchanges that are working with us.
Do the bad guys, is the goal when you guys get involved probably to catch the bad guys, but do they ever get caught, or is the success story more we got some of the money back or the money back?
Both.
Okay.
So I do have times that Ghana is probably my best example where we've been able to go to Ghana. We were able to work with the police in Ghana, and we were able to arrest the heads of these organizations and then bring them back here to the United States to be tried. That is not the most common case.
I would imagine it wouldn't be.
It's a lot of times our goal is to just, if you can get us the information as quick as possible, we'll try to get your money back. We'll shut down accounts. We'll shut down the people in the United States that are working with these people, and then make it more difficult for these criminal organizations to work in the United States. But there is a new task force that the FBI has set up, and the Department of Justice has set up, that is focusing on bringing down these larger call centers that we talked about, like the ones in Cambodia and Laos and India. And we're working with the locals there to destroy their whole criminal organization. But it's a slow process.
I'm sure.
Do you feel like the punishments are strong enough to deter and to maybe disincentivize this kind of behavior? Or are we not there yet? Seems like it's growing, not slowing.
Yeah. They're making a lot more money than they're ever going to make any other way. And it's tough to, if we put them into jail for a couple of years, for them to say, yeah, that wasn't worth it. It's, I don't know that we're deterring too much. But I can tell you some deterrence that we do have is because a lot of these are international schemes, because a lot of these organizations want to have people in the United States because it helps them move money. When we arrest those people here in the United States and then deport them back to their countries, and so they can't come back here, that becomes a pretty big deterrent because they've had to work pretty hard to get here. And so that is a good deterrent.
And lose their status and
Yeah.
What about your opinion or thoughts on the crypto world? It started out, from my understanding, is a little bit more on the dark web side of things, using it for the black market, Silk Road, all the illegal activities that people can exchange and buy illegal drugs or weapons, or a whole host of things. You can even get on the dark web and find an assassin if you want. I mean, there's unlimited, but
How do you know that?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty well read. I like to know what's going on in the world around me.
I'm teasing.
I just want to know if the crypto, in your opinion, if it offers more benefits than harms to society.
I hate crypto.
Hey, welcome.
Thank you. Come on back anytime.
That being said, I wish I had invested.
Yeah, we could show you some other things that have done just as well or better. So,
But I mean, of course, it's becoming a lot more mainstream, and it's being used for legitimate purposes, and I mean, people have made a lot of money with it. But I think because it is new, and because people know people that have made a lot of money with crypto, it's a great way to scam someone and to get them to invest, especially because they don't know a lot about it. They don't know how it should look.
Yeah. Well, and we'll offer the same kind of a response. Is we're not educated enough to know what the future holds, but it seems to me and I've been doing this investment world for a long time. I'm 30 years in this, but when something acts like that and it's up and down and up and so volatile, and people call it a currency, and I'm thinking, well, it's a currency, shouldn't be bouncing all over the place like that, right? And then people who say they want to use that as a currency, they're then using it as an investment, and so they don't want to part with any of it. They're holding on to it like a Babe Ruth rookie card, and they think it's just going to go up to $1 million or $2 million, whatever it is,
to the moon. Coin.
And so, where's the rationality? There is no rationality.
Well, I'll tell you a scenario just from last week. We had we traced it's around $300,000 to a crypto wallet, and we didn't know about it until last week. But this was over a year ago, and so it was valued at $300,000. But I looked at the money today and valued what that crypto was worth, and it was worth $75,000. And so I don't know. Like I said, I would have loved to invest it if I could have sold at the time that was right, but I'd hate to be that guy that bought a year ago and is selling right now because you would have lost
You
tons.
don't know. And a lot of people who have made money, even they've had this 50% pullback, they still believe in a hook, line, and sinker. They're going to hold it forever. And a lot of high-profile people have said that and stated it. But again, I just wonder about the U.S. Treasury. Here we have our own currency, and I'm just kind of going through this because this is the way that people think in these scams. Is we have our own currency in this country, and if we somehow, even around the world, let a new currency take over, then what good is the dollar? And that's what I've always asked is when we're transacting for legitimate things, people are still okay accepting and giving dollars. Even though it's a fiat currency, it's only paper, but we all know what it's good for. We all know what we can do with it. And we all know it holds its value pretty much. But when you have a crypto, you don't know from day to day what it's going to be worth. Is it an investment? Am I going to hold this? Am I going to retire with this? Am I going to spend it on something else and then wish I wouldn't have? There's all those things are big questions in my mind. So I'm wondering how, when you find these scammers, is there a way to get in there and take the crypto and then exchange it back and give people back their money?
Yeah.
Is that what you guys are thinking? That's what you're doing?
That's what we're doing.
I'm sitting here thinking, scams. We've talked about a lot of older people getting scammed. When we're sitting here talking about crypto, we get it all the time. If a client sends in their kid or grandkid, that one of the first things they ask, do you guys do crypto? Are younger people, I know they probably don't have as much money as the older people, but are they still targets for these crypto scams or not so much?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. It's whoever has money and whoever's online looking to invest.
Yeah. Just seems like the younger generation. I mean, you would echo that. They just are falling in love with cryptocurrencies.
Well, I think they fall in love with the idea of
making millions
making so
this
much money
fast.
that they won't know what to do. And they don't have to work. I mean, it's no longer you have to get a job and work. It's just, my buddies did this, and we're investing, and everybody just thinks they're so smart.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it, but I think this, you know, chickens are going to come home to roost at some point. And
Yeah.
we've seen this. I've written books on this stuff, the manias over centuries as a human race, and how people fall over and over again for the scam of the day, for the mania that's going on. And they just buy in. It's like, this is it. This is what we do. So money no longer, there's no concept of time or anything involved building anything. And, you know, crypto is what it is. It's just, you can't touch it. It's just, it's floating around somewhere. We don't know where, but it's out there. And
Well, it's in Cambodia and Ghana and
yeah, we're not sure. I just don't want to get ripped off. I'm not going to exchange anything. We're not recommending it, but I want to help our clients protect themselves the best possible way, so they're not victims of this stuff. We're reading billions a year, and a lot of times not recoverable or not recovered. And sometimes people are too embarrassed to even mention it.
That is a big deal, especially with the romance scams. People are hesitant, and still because like we said earlier, I mean, the bad guys have spent a lot of time creating a relationship. And so sometimes the victims will come in and they'll say, hey, I'm the victim of a scam, but I don't think it has anything to do with my online girlfriend. I think it's her aunt that did all the investment. And so,
still defending it.
yeah. And it's sad.
I'm hoping you're taking notes of that part right there. Can you tell us about a couple of like crazy things that you've seen in the last year or two?
I'm working a case right now, which you reminded me a little bit of this about the employee that worked here and they spoofed your email. Mm-hmm. So that we call that a business email compromise. And so those are some very lucrative scams. And so what will happen is the bad guys will get online. Somehow they'll get access to your corporate email account, and they'll follow it for a while. They'll just watch it. Just watch and see how you communicate, who you're communicating with, who your clients are. And then they'll get in there and then they'll spoof your email. And so if your email is I don't know what your email is. What is your email?
Billy@petersonws.com.
Okay. And so they do it Belize at Peterson at WF, whatever that was. Mm-hmm. So they just change one letter. And then they send an email. They're using language like they've watched in your emails, and they communicate with your client and then just say, instead of sending the $1.2 million that you needed for this construction project to this account, we want you to send it to this other account.
Quick and easy.
And it's so lucrative and so much money. And so
now go back. How did they get access to your computer in the first place?
I don't know.
To monitor the emails and stuff?
I don't know. Maybe they've sent you an email and
you click something and all of a sudden,
maybe they wanted to become your client, pretended like they were going to become your client, and so they get access to it, and then they have some cyber people that are able to hack into your account. And a lot of times we're not very careful with our emails, and it's not that difficult to hack into someone's email account.
Yeah,
and so that's what they'll do. And
that's our policy is we don't transact over email. If a client emails us something. So if you're a client and you're listening and you're wondering why we call and get the verbal all the time, this is why. We want to get the verbal. We want to understand, make sure nothing fishy is going on. But now I don't know if we're getting fake AI voices. It's
well, it's coming.
I mean, seriously,
it's the next step.
It's already there.
Yeah.
It's already there. But one really good thing is that you have emails and you have phone numbers that are established. And so if they're receiving phone calls from you, but it's a different phone number than before, if they're receiving emails and there's any deviation at all, then it's always good to come in person too and talk.
I'm scared. I'm scared about scammers. I don't know what to tell people sometimes. I appreciate all these comments. I mean, but everybody is really in their line of fire. Everyone is a target. A lot of people lose money. You guys you're tasked with helping individuals, yeah? Who helps the government? The government gets scammed itself. There's a ton of people out there trying to scam the government, which has got the biggest pockets in the world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's crazy what's happening all over the place with the sophistication and what we need to be aware of. So I guess it goes back to just having that conversation. What I'm worried about, Sean, is if people, we need to have that verbal, they call us and we call, but we get somebody else. We call, but we think we're talking to our client.
That's what I was kind of
and it's
inferring.
not our client.
Yeah.
Because I think they're already like, people that do illegal things, they're trying to, they already know what we can do. They're always ahead of us. It's funny. I'm going to talk to him after hours and talk about the horse racing stuff that's going on.
I'm surprised you haven't brought that up
yet. I think
yet.
I might have a few tips for you to bust a couple guys down, but we'll talk about that later. Are there main states that are bigger culprits than others? How is Utah in the rankings of crime and fraud?
I don't know. I know that there's a lot here. I came here, I think 2 years ago is when I came here. I was in Arizona before. In Arizona, there's a lot of retired people.
Yeah, older people.
And so that's a place for a lot of victims. Utah, I've been dealing less with retired people and more with investors. And so just the demographics change a little bit, but it seems like everywhere is getting hit hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's your first question when somebody calls? Like, how long does it take, I guess, for people to either have some level of resolution when they have a fraud case like this?
It takes years.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it takes years. They're very complicated investigations, and there's giant webs that are involved. And so even though we may make an arrest pretty quick on the lowest level, usually I'll open the curtains for you. Here's how an FBI investigation works. We'll go after our lowest level person. We arrest them and then we flip them. We get them to cooperate with us, to talk to us about the next level. The good thing about fraudsters is they're not loyal to each other. So we get them, and they usually do flip and they do cooperate.
They'll rat the next guy.
They will rat the next guy out.
Yeah, just to be able to get leniency on their sentence or whatever. You can't offer them any money for that, right?
Sometimes depends on what we're doing. Yeah, we do what we need to do. But mostly, if we've got someone, we've got good charges, then yeah, we just work with leniency.
Well, even, and this is a different level of scam, but the Bernie Madoff situation, you're familiar with that, where he's scammed hundreds of billions from unsuspecting investors who thought they had their money invested and were just making 20% a year. Finally came out of that collapse, and he'd never had a single dollar of their money invested. It was all just paper statements. They were regenerating statements after the fact and keep sending everybody statements and everybody sharing with all their neighbors and friends and family how much money they're making. One of the greatest Ponzi schemes of all time.
Right.
That's like the old trick, right? The Ponzi schemes, is that still going on?
Oh, they're still doing it. They're still doing it.
Still doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not going to leave my house or answer my phone.
Those ones get interesting too, because some of the victims start to realize, hey, this is a Ponzi scheme, but I want to get my money back. And so you see some of the victims become co-conspirators as they're bringing,
get me mine and I won't turn you in.
Right. Or bringing in other investors and then knowing that money is going to come in. And so it's messy.
Just to kill somebody so they can get something of their own out.
Right.
Thanks. Not kill, I mean to kill financially.
Right.
But yeah, I don't want that to be construed.
Very good. Good clear
podcast. Anyway, Bret, anything else that you want to leave with our listeners with as far as protecting themselves and what to think about, and maybe how to protect their elderly parents?
As far as elderly parents, and again, I'm jaded, and so if you've met someone online and you think that it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true.
Mm-hmm.
There's no super hot model that wants to get with an 80-year-old guy that doesn't have a lot
couple
of assets.
$100 billion.
Yeah. And so, yeah, if it doesn't, if there's something that looks wrong, it's probably wrong, and just run away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's the same that we tell people when they have this new investment idea where the returns are so great. If it stinks, it stinks. Something's not right.
Yeah. Yeah. Be careful out there,
Be
guys.
vigilant.
It's that's why I wanted to do this scam deal again, is because it's not slowing down in our mind. It's actually speeding up, and it's getting more and more sophisticated and complicated and hard to identify. So FBI guys like Bret here are doing their job, tracking them down, working really hard. The problem is if you lose your money, it might be years before you get it back. You might never get it back. So think about that as far as a reset and having to start over just by something you thought was an innocent click or wire or providing information to somebody you thought was legit. They're getting smart. And so, again, be very careful on who you trust. Ask questions, talk to somebody in a younger generation, even call your local police department. And if you are defrauded, immediately contact the FBI under that, what was it, C3?
IC3.gov.
IC3.gov, and get that started as soon as possible so you have a prayer to get some of that back. Talk to Sean, myself, anybody here in the office if you have questions, or even if you have your own experience with a fraud case. We want to share that with our other listeners and other clients. So thanks for joining us today, Bret. We really appreciate coming.
Thank you,
For
Bret.
having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy it. Till next time, stay in the saddle out there.
Thank you for listening. For more information about today's show, please check out the show notes. Visit our website at www.petersonws.com or give us a call at 801-475-4002. Peterson Wealth Services is a registered investment advisor. This is a paid-for advertisement. Information presented on this program is believed to be factual and up-to-date, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, and it should not be regarded as a complete analysis of the subjects discussed. Discussions and answers to questions do not involve the rendering of a personalized investment advice, but are limited to the dissemination of general information. A professional advisor should be consulted before implementing any of the options presented. Peterson Wealth Services.